social distancing guidelines and COVID-19 restrictions, there's plenty to be thankful for and celebrate. And Beth Yeshrurun, our beloved congregation, continues to take the challenges of this past year and turn them into opportunities for social and spiritual connection and celebration. Today, we not only celebrate the past miracle of Hanukkah, but also the present-day miracle of the strength, resiliency, and vibrancy of our Beth Yeshrurun community. I want to welcome you to a special Chesed YES Group Hanukkah program, a program created just for you, our cherished senior community. There are two parts of the program. My friend Cantor Finkelstein opens the program entertaining us with Hanukkah melodies. This is followed with our president, Jerrad Bloome, executive committee member and Chesed Project volunteer, Lori Herzog, Chesed Project Chair, Jonathan Bailiff, and me, discussing our impressions of the last year, upcoming programs and services we can look forward to, and how we are doing and what we're doing to engage our senior members of Beth Yeshrurun. I hope you'll enjoy the program and take this as a further sign that we care about you, we want you to feel connected, and we're here for you, good times and in challenging times. So again, early Shabbat Shalom and Hag Urim Sameach, happy Hanukkah, and enjoy the program.
Hi everybody. So for this afternoon's concert, I want to share with you 3 videos that I made specially for you today. Two were specially made for you. The other one is from 20 years ago, and I'll introduce that first. You all know I have a little dreidel. Well, over 20 years ago, the 3 cantors, who were Cantor David Propis, Cantor Abe Mizrahi, and myself, we did a concert here in Houston, and one of the pieces that we sang was a doo-wop version of I Have a Little Dreidel, which you can also find on YouTube. So enjoy it. That's one of the videos that we're going to share with you. Another one is of my daughter Emily when she was just 10 years old, and she sang this version of Hanerot Halalu, which I wrote about 30 years ago, and you'll enjoy the video and the beautiful background. The third one is Pitchu Li Sharei Tzedek, and this is a beautiful prayer from the Hallel. The Hallel are a group of prayers of praise that we pray every single day during Hanukkah, and this was recorded in Detroit with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra and a children's chorus. I hope you enjoy all 3. All the best.
Al
Hi everybody, welcome to a Hanukkah concert for a Sunday afternoon. And I know that just about everybody knows these beautiful Hanukkah songs, so if you're in the mood, please join with me. And let's begin with Ma'oz Tzur. Ma'oz Tzur Yeshuati L'chana el Shabeach Tikom Beit Tefilati V'sham Toda Lezabeach Le'yet Achinem Atabeach Mitzad HaManabeach Azek Mor Shir Mizmor Chanukat HaMizbeach Azek Mor Shir Mizmor Chanukat HaMizbeach Ma'oz Tzur Yeshuati. Now it's your turn, so sing with me. Tikon Beit Tefilati, light the menorah for all to see. Le'yet Achinem Atabeach, Mitzad HaManabeach, Azek Mor, Shir Mizmor, Chanukat HaMizbeach, Azek Mor, Shir Mizmor, Chanukat HaMizbeach. And now, our next song, join with me, Sevivon. Sevivon, sof, 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 Hanukkah, uchatov, Hanukkah, uchatov, Sevivon, sof, 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 Chag simcha ulam, nes gadol haya sham, nes gadol haya sham, Chag simcha ulam, Sevivon, sof, 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 Hanukkah, uchatov, Hanukkah, uchatov, Sevivon, sof, 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 Chag simcha ulam, nes gadol haya sham, nes gadol haya sham, Chag simcha ulam. Now we have everyone's favorite Hanukkah or Hanukkah. Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Sevivon to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. I hope you're enjoying these Hanukkah songs, because I certainly am. I don't think I can hear you, but maybe I can. Our next song is everybody's favorite, especially all the kids. Here we go. I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, dreidel I shall play. Dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, now dreidel I shall play. It has a lovely body with a leg so short and thin, and when it feels so tired, it drops and then I win. Oh, dreidel, 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 with a leg so short and thin. And when it gets so tired, it drops and then I win. My dreidel always playful, it loves to dance and spin. A happy game of dreidel, come play now, let's begin. Oh, dreidel, 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 it loves to dance and spin. A happy game of dreidel, come let's begin. Poor dreidel. He's going around and around in circles the whole time. Must be dizzy, dizzy, dizzy. And now our next song is, this is amazing because it's a Hanukkah song written by non-Jews. Very famous trio, folk trio called Peter, Paul, and Mary. And it's Light One Candle. Beautiful lyrics. Light one candle for the Maccabee children, with thanks that their light didn't die. Light one candle for the pain they endured when their right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. But light one candle for the wisdom to know when the peacemaker's time is at hand. Don't let the lights go out, it lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our hopes and our tears. Light one candle for the strength that we need to never become our own foe. Light one candle for those who are suffering pain we learned so long ago. And light one candle for all we believe in, that anger not tear us apart. Light one candle to find us together with peace as a song in our hearts. Don't let the light go out, shine for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it burn through our hearts and our tears. Don't let the light go out, it lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our tears. Let it shine through our hope and our tears. What is the memory that's valued so highly that we keep it alive in that flame? What's the commitment to those who have died when we cry out they've not died in vain? We have come this far, always believing justice will somehow prevail. This is the burning, this is the promise, this is why we will not fail. Don't let the light go out, it lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our hope and our tears. Don't let the light go out, it lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our hope and our tears. Beautiful song. And let's finish with Mia Maleo. Who can retell? Who can retell the things that befell us? Who can sing a song of praise to the heroes of our own days. Mi yemalel burak Israel otam imne ein bechol dor yakum hagibor go'el ha'am. Shma vayamim hahem b'zman hazeh Maccabi Moshiach tzfodeh Uv'yameinu kol am Yisrael Yitached yakum b'yigael. So the next song is the beautiful prayer Al Hanisim, and this is chanted, this is prayed 3 times a day during Hanukkah. And it speaks about all the miracles that our ancestors enjoyed. Al Hanisim ve'al hapurkan ve'al hadurot ve'al hatshuot ve'al hamilchamot עשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה בימי מתתיהו בן יוחנן כהן גדול חשמונאי ובניו כשעמדה מלכות יוון הרשעה על עמך ישראל השכיחם תורתך ולהעבירם מחוקי רצונך ואתה ברחמך הרבים עמדת להם ביצרתם רבת את ריבם דנת את דינם נקמת את נקמתם מסרת גיבורים ביד ביד חלשים ורבים ביד מעטים וטמאים ביד טהורים ורשעים ביד צדיקים וזיתים ביד עוסקי תורתך ביד עוסקי תורתך ולך עשית שם גדול וקדוש בעולמך ולעמך ישראל עשית תשועה גדולה ופורקן כהיום הזה ואחר כן באו בניך לדביר ביתך ופינו את היכלך וטיהרו את מקדשך והדליקו נרות בחצרות קודשך וקבעו 8 ימי חנוכה אלו להודות ולהלל לשמך
a little dreidel I made it out of clay, and when it's all tied and ready, yes, dreidel I shall play. Oh, it has such a lovely little body with one leg, some shorty feet, and when it gets all tucked out and tired, it drops, and then I win. Dreidel, oh my little dreidel,
Chag Sameach, everybody, and happy Hanukkah. Welcome to our Chesed Committee Hanukkah celebration. This is part of the Ask the Rabbi, Ask the President about what's going on with Beth Yeshrurun as part of our Hanukkah celebration. I'm joined by Rabbi Strauss. He is on my left. Obviously, we have Jerrad Bloome, our president, and Lori Herzog, who is with me also on the Chesed Committee. I'm Jonathan Bailiff, the chairman of the Chesed Committee, and this time is really meant to be informational for you, our committee members and also the people we serve, which are those in Beth Yeshrurun who've really felt this pandemic as much or more than everybody else. And we want to say thank you for being a part of the Chesed Committee, and we've really enjoyed it as a committee and as the chair. With that, I get to begin the questions. Sorry about that. So first, Rabbi, again, thank you for everything you've been able to do the last secular year. What is your personal perspective and thoughts on this past year, including the celebration of the high holidays?
Sure. Well, thank you. And I want to thank our president, Congregational President Jerrad Bloome, and Lori Herzog, and Jonathan Bailiff. Really, I think I speak on behalf of all of us that we are so blessed in our congregation to have such able leaders, such exceptional leaders that have kind of helped guide us through this time. And I want to say also that when this first started back in March, one of the first things we did, we said we needed to reach out to you, our most vulnerable members, our members that were going to feel most alone, and do even more to reach out to you, to make you feel part of the community, to make you feel a little bit less isolated, to make sure you know that Beth Yeshrurun is still here for you. And so that's why we started this Chesed program, and led by Jonathan Bailiff, with help from Mindy Stern and Rabbi Fort, and volunteers like Lori Herzog. It's made a world of difference, and I hope you felt their love, because that's our congregational's care for you. You know, this past year is something that I never thought any of us would ever experience. I thought my senior rabbinate had had enough when this building flooded. Where I'm standing now was in water. And look now, we've had this other once-in-a-lifetime event. We went from Hurricane Harvey to a pandemic. And I think what I was reminded of again, is what I was reminded of during Harvey, is that when we're faced with insurmountable odds, we're faced with these great challenges, we found a way to overcome. Hasn't been ideal, it's certainly far from perfect. But we found ways still to survive and thrive as a congregation. And so what I've discovered, I think first and foremost, is we've become a virtual congregation. Yes, we have services weekdays and on Shabbat, but all of our programming, all of our learning, and many of you are tuning in virtually on weekdays and on Shabbat. And so every day I wake up, and when I say my prayers, Jonathan, I say, thank God that this isn't 1918. That now in 2020, it's a pandemic, but we have technology. And so we're still able to sustain ourselves, still be able to reach people, still be able to teach and learn, and still be able to do the high holidays. You mentioned the high holidays, where this was really a studio. It was a studio production of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And we missed having all of you here in our seats in the Barak Sanctuary, but I've heard from so many of you, and I still hear from many of you, that you still felt spiritually lifted, you still felt connected, you still felt like you were with God in community on the most important days of the Jewish year. So I think anything I've learned is that thank God for technology.
Jerrad. Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
How do you feel you and Congregation Beth Yeshrurun have grown Jewishly through the pandemic, and what changes have you adapted in your family and our congregation to this?
Well, thank you. And first, I would like to echo Rabbi Strauss's appreciation for what the Chesed group has done, what Jonathan has done taking it on, and Mindy has done helping, and the whole committee. It has been a very, very important part of connecting with our community during this pandemic. As it goes to being more Jewish, what I think we've learned here at Beth Yeshrurun is that a lot of the things maybe we've done or have done weren't as important as some of the core things we need to do. And I think we've adapted to that. We've realized that in this time, we can't provide some of the things that have been provided before, but we can provide the core of what we need to provide to make people connected spiritually, to make people part of the community. As Brian said, thanks to technology. I was reading an interesting article about the 1918 pandemic, and the technology at the time that was used to keep everyone connected was the newspaper. In the newspaper, they would print the rabbi's sermons or the church's sermons, and they would do things to try to get people to stay connected to God. Luckily, we've had the internet and technology that has helped us do that. But I think also what I've realized from some of our congregants is, in a strange way, they feel more connected. They can go on and be more Jewish when they want to do it, how they want to do it. And it's been interesting to see that maybe some of the perceptions we've had of what our congregants want, we might be learning it's a little bit different, and we need to adapt to that, and we're going to need to change for that. And a lot of that is also with our senior community and dealing with those and figuring out ways that we can be better in connecting with them. And I think we're learning to do that now through technology, and hopefully they're getting on board with the technology as well, and it can bring us all together better as a community.
Rabbi, obviously there's been a huge amount, a plethora of programming in this last secular year. What has really made an impression on you, other than obviously the high holidays? What's made the most and biggest impression on you? Just a few examples.
Going back to the learning, we, for example, we've been doing a lunch and learn program every other Thursday. And we're finding people that participating in this program that never did before. They wouldn't be able to drive here in the middle of a work day or in the middle of whatever they're doing on a Thursday and show up for an hour-long program in the middle of the day. But now they can tune in. They can listen while they're eating at their desk or when they're driving in their car. We've had people driving in the car participating. So I think it's reminded us, and I've already been speaking with our program director, Jennifer Rosenzweig, that even when this is over and the doors are open again for everyone to come in, we're still going to continue a lot of these online classes because we're finding that it gives people a chance to connect. Right. And people that just didn't have the time to do it. But I'll add one other thing too, interesting. With that said, I have another program, in fact, Jerrad's been part of this. We have a Musar class that we've been doing the last couple of years. And I spoke to a few people in the class. I said, well, why don't we continue the Musar class online? And they all said, no, let's wait. Because we missed the Musar, but those people who were meeting in person during lunch for the last 3 years, they actually want the camaraderie. They want to be with other people. So everyone I've spoken to in that class said, let's wait. We'll start up again when we can actually be in person. So I think for some people, they'll treasure having more of an online learning opportunities when this is over. And some people will run back into the building because they miss being with their friends and making new friends in person.
Right.
We want to talk a little bit about the Chesed and what we're doing for seniors in our community and how they've engaged in everything that we're doing. So just to give you everybody a little background, Chesed has been around, as Jonathan said, we've been here since March. We have a group of committee members who call a list of seniors and develop relationships with them. I mean, I've developed some relationships with people who I've never met, but and there's 307 Chesed members. So could you maybe tell us a little bit about what we're going to be doing in the future for seniors and programs?
Sure. I mean, we're going to, excuse me, we're going to try to get back to the program we tried before, but we also understand now that we need to provide more probably for the seniors group. And we have the ability to do so now if we can do it through technology and it's not as big of an issue of mobility and getting people in the building and having the time, because you can do it when you want. So I think some of the things we're looking at, as Brian was saying, in terms of the education and other programs, is keeping them online or keeping some online so that we have the ability to connect with the people that it might not be as easy to get into the building as possible. One of the things I look forward to, because it was one of the most important things for me as president, was being here Saturday mornings. A lot of our seniors are our regulars, and I got to spend time with them. And I got to sit and have some tuna fish with them every Saturday and hear stories and, you know, create community with them, people I never knew before. So I really look forward to getting back to that and maybe figuring out a way that we can include the people that maybe can't make it here on a Saturday, but in some sort of a event after a service, that we still can have that congregation where we get to meet and talk and hear from our seniors that have so much wisdom and so much history to give us.
And Lori, I'll just add to what Jerrad said. You know, this Chesed committee, which initially started as a safety net, as an emergency effort, is now a long-term program that the synagogue is going to offer and have long-term volunteers. And I just want to say thank you to, there really were over 40 volunteers initially. We have a group of really 20 that are continuing the process, but we have people as part of that 20 committee who have the relationships that are incredibly active, and I do want to thank them. Yes. Rabbi, just to continue the program, give us a sense, and this is really a two-part question, what are we doing today as far as services, just to remind our seniors and others in this Chesed community, what are we doing today as far as services, and what do you think and what do you see for the winter and the coming months? I know that's somewhat situationally dependent.
So first and foremost, all of our services, whether it's weekday mornings, evenings, or Shabbat, are live streamed. So anyone who's not comfortable coming, not a problem. You can watch online, you could participate, and you can say the Mourner's Kaddish. And that's been our number one goal with services, is anyone can say Kaddish for a loved one, participating online, because we've been fortunate to have a minyan meeting together, really going back all the way towards the beginning of this pandemic. Right now, we have services in the mornings. It's 7 a.m. Our chapel community is meeting. They're meeting in the Freeman Levitt Sanctuary to allow for more space. It's a maximum of 30 people. We get in the mornings usually somewhere between 12 and 15 people. You have to wear a mask. You have to stay at least 6 feet away from everyone. We don't walk around with the Torah. There's no kissing of the Torah. If you come up for an Aliyah on Monday or Thursday mornings when we read Torah, you have to step back. There's only one person allowed at the table. We're taking every precaution necessary to ensure the safety of anyone who does feel comfortable coming in for a service. On weekday evenings, which are right now meeting at 5 p.m., same thing, 6 feet apart. You have to wear the mask the entire time. Maximum of 30 people. We're probably getting somewhere between 15 and 20 people every evening. And then on Shabbat, Friday nights we have 2 services here in the Baruch Sanctuary. It's usually a bar mitzvah, but not every week. For example, tonight we don't have a bar mitzvah. So if we have a bar mitzvah here in the Baruch Sanctuary, it's just the guests of the families. A maximum of 40 people right now, 20 per family. If we don't have a bar mitzvah, then members are welcome to come, and it's a maximum of 30 people on Friday nights. Regardless of what's happening here, we also have our chapel service, which is meeting in the Freeman Levitt Sanctuary, and they get somewhere between 10 and 15 people every Friday night. And similar on Saturday mornings. Service here in bar mitzvah, or not a bar mitzvah, but you're with the cantor and the clergy, or the chapel service in Freeman Levitt every Shabbat morning, and of course Shabbat afternoon also, around 5 o'clock. You can find all these times on our website, and you can register on our website as well. And if you have trouble registering, you can email Jennifer Rosenzweig, who's our program director. You can find her email on our website. And if you can't find her email, just email me, and I'll put you in touch with Jennifer, or email any of us. And we'll get you in touch with Jennifer to show you how to register or get you help, so to make sure you can go to any service you want to.
Thank you, Rabbi. And just one additional question. Online, we are now using YouTube as a source.
One of them, right.
One of the sources.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's the temple live streaming, and that seems to. How many people are we getting like on a Friday night? I hear it's not insignificant.
Well, I'll say thank God for YouTube and Facebook. Many of you may remember on Kol Nidre, the most important night of the year, our website went down. In fact, hundreds of North American synagogue websites went down because of Shul Cloud. They became so overwhelmed. There were so many Jews watching that their whole system went down. And so synagogues that were dependent on just the live streaming through their website weren't able to broadcast their service. That happened to my parents' synagogue up in Dallas. They were just out of luck. It was terrible. Fortunately, we had the backup of YouTube and Facebook, which we encourage everyone to go and watch. And so that made a world of difference. It fluctuates depending on the bar mitzvah. We're still getting a good amount on Friday nights, somewhere up to 1,000 sometimes. Sometimes less, sometimes a little bit more. Saturday mornings, I think it's between 200 and 300 households that are watching. Weekdays, I think it's 20 to 30 to 40, depending on how many yard sites there are.
Good Lord.
And that's a lot of people. I mean, I know a lot of the Chesed people are joining in that they couldn't make it even to services before. They didn't have the transportation or the ability, and they're watching, and we've got them clicked in, and they're enjoying it so much.
I hear it all the time. When I run into people at the grocery store, and they all say it. They say they are enjoying it. They're people that never even came are watching.
Which is what we want. We want to engage everybody and every generation to be part of our services.
Absolutely.
And so, Jerrad, we just wanted to let you address to the Chesed community, and as you're leaving us soon, and anything you'd like to tell us as you step down.
It's been an interesting time as president, needless to say. As Brian mentioned, started with the building being rebuilt, ending on a pandemic. It's been interesting, but I see positivity out of it. And I know a lot of people will say, we got the fatigue and it's been so hard. Why do you see positivity out of it? I see positivity because I see, one, it's forced us to do things that maybe we weren't ready to do or didn't know we needed to do. For instance, this is something we probably should have done before, but we weren't forced to do it. We didn't really have the idea that we needed it. We figured, a lot of the people, they come and they're here and they can connect, and we realized we needed to actually be more proactive about that. And so I'm happy we've done that, and I'm happy we're going to continue it into the future because I think it's very important. I also see positivity in it because I think it is going to make us, as Brian said, there are certain things which we never did before, really, like offering things online, which we're going to continue to do because we've understood that this is the way we connect with certain members who, as you said, don't come on Friday night, but watch the service on Friday night. I mean, going to the numbers issue that you mentioned, on Yom Kippur, we had 13,000 different devices logged in for the high holidays. We have less than 2,000 families as members. So they're coming from everywhere, and we need to figure out how to capture those people as well and keep them active or keep them involved or engaged, and figure out what we can do to make it, a bigger and better community, even if it's nationwide. But the one thing, like I said, that I would miss the most from being president with my senior group is the Saturday morning. So I look forward to continuing that even when I'm not president. I mean, there's no reason why I won't be able to show up and sit and have my time with them. But also, I hope they've realized through my time that I find it very important, the legacy of Beth Yeshrurun and the history of Beth Yeshrurun. And I find all of their involvement and their family's involvement and other relatives to be very important to where we're going, to know where we've been. And that's why it was important for starting a legacy foundation during my time so that we can build the synagogue and have the legacy of our older members, and also getting the building designated as a historical landmark, because that is the history. And that to me is a very important part of our legacy, an important part of our congregation, an important part of us being a community, is understanding where everyone's come from and how we all fit together. So while I'll miss my time as president, I'll still look forward to having my tuna fish Saturday mornings with the community.
Well, on behalf of the whole Chesed committee, including obviously Lori and myself and Mindy especially, and we want to give Mindy Stern a particularly hearty l'chaim and welcome, and thank you for really making this effort amazing, incredible, and also sustaining. So, but really, Rabbi and Jerrad, you guys have been amazing support for me and obviously for Lori and the rest of the team on the Chesed committee. We want to wish everybody again a Chag Hanukkah Sameach and Shabbat Shalom, because it is Shabbat as we speak, and then this will be presented for Shabbat Hanukkah also. Thank you again and again. Absolutely, really happy about where we're at in the Chesed committee. Thank you.
Thanks to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you,
It's a
guys.
team effort.